Welcome to NASW Minnesota's 2020 Annual Conference. My name is Karen Goodenough, and I'm Executive Director of NASW Minnesota, and thrilled to have you all registered for this conference and listening to these opening remarks that I believe will help lay the groundwork for what's in our days ahead. In these remarks, I'll cover some important reminders and key things to highlight, so please listen all the way through. This year, we're celebrating 60 years of NASW, the National Association of Social Workers, and 30 years of our annual conference here in Minnesota. We do this collectively in light of two pandemics, COVID-19 and the fight against racial injustice. In this context, our conference theme, The Road We're On, Honoring Yesterday, Building Tomorrow, has taken on a whole new light. Now more than ever, our theme is meant as a reflective reminder to honor the generations, communities, and movements that have led us to the present moment, and to serve as a call to build the road of tomorrow with intention and unity and resolve. I'm so glad that you're joining us to recognize and celebrate our history, and hope that you'll leave our conference feeling supported, equipped, and inspired to continue doing innovative and empowering work. In light of this context, we did a whole bunch of things to change up our conference for the year, so I want to highlight a few of those for you. As you know, we've switched to a fully online conference. We're offering both live sessions over 4 days and access to recorded breakouts for 3 additional weeks. We did this to incorporate all of the fantastic content that we had already been planning for at our live conference without incurring the costs of a fancy conference platform. This also allows people to attend all sessions. While at most conferences that you attend, you have to choose one of several breakout options that are offered during each time slot. And inevitably, all of the others that you wanted to attend or interested in were all at that exact same time. This happens to me all the time. So what we've done is set it up so you can attend one and then watch the recording of the other. We've also, this also has allowed us to significantly drop the price of registration and sponsorship and to make it accessible to social workers across the state. I want to share a few of the highlights of what our 4 days will include. So these are some of the fun things that I just want to bring to your attention in case you haven't caught them already. On Monday, we'll feature our opening keynote with NASW's National New President, Mitt Joyner, who will open us with her reflections on the history of our profession and help us examine our steps toward justice. This is more of a national perspective on the issues. And over lunch that day, we'll be doing a CEU discussion of Ibram Kendi's book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. Join us whether you've read the book or not. Ideally, you've read the book, and if you have time still, do a quick skim or read a bit of the book on tape just to give you a sense of what it is. On Tuesday, we'll feature a keynote address from Susan Brower. She's our state demographer, and she'll share some insights into what demographic shifts we can expect over the next 2 decades that will help equip us as we all continue to be more data-driven in our practice. Over lunch hour on Tuesday, we'll feature a poster presentation roundtable. It's a fun way of getting a bunch of CEU content in short little bits over an hour. On Wednesday, our keynote will bring our longest running licensed social worker in Minnesota, Glenda Dewberry-Rooney, to share her insights into the defining historical and contemporary movements in which our profession has played a decisive role in exposing and responding to common human needs of our periods, and what lessons are most relative today. This will be more of a Minnesota-focused conversation. Over lunch on Wednesday, we'll be hosting a movie club and a discussion of the movie 13th. And this is available both on Netflix and YouTube, so you should have free access to the movie. Make sure you set aside about an hour and 40 minutes or so to watch that. On Thursday, we'll close with a morning keynote panel of some of our next generation of social work leaders in Minnesota. We'll have Angelo Flowers, Raven Gibbs, and Potter Vang, who will consider our roles in the movement towards racial justice and where they see our profession in the years to come. I'm really excited to hear these insights from this next generation of leaders. And our lunch session on Thursday will feature me sharing a chapter update on our year and what's ahead for NASW Minnesota. A quick reminder to everyone that each of our morning keynotes and our lunch sessions will not be recorded. They're only available live. So be sure to tune in to each of these in the mornings from 9 to 10:15 for those keynotes, and each day at lunch from 11:45 to 12:45. Our 32 breakout sessions, however, across the 4 days, will feature local insights and voices on an array of topics, from ethics and supervision to advanced clinical practice, self-care and holistic health, macro practice and policy, and lots more. All of these will be recorded and available on our All Access channel through October 15th, end of day on October 15th. So again, those morning CE sessions or morning keynote sessions and our lunch CEs will not be recorded, so watch those live. But all 32 of those breakout sessions, you can watch any of them pre-recorded. And just a couple more notes on CEUs. This is lots of questions we get on CEUs. So each session you attend counts as one CEU. So easy enough. You can get 5, you can get all 40. It's what you make of it. You've paid for the conference in full, and it's sort of whatever you need and whatever is interesting to you. It's especially timely that we've offered it this way because you can get all of your CEs through independent study this renewal period in light of the one-time or time-limited variance, I should say, that our Board of Social Work has put into place. There's more info on this on the CEU page in our program. Now, to track your CEUs, download or print the CEU certificate from the CEU page of our program and self-report what you attended live and through independent learning. As a CE provider, we will have a record of your attendance at all live sessions, as well as what you watch of the recordings, just in case you get audited by the Board of Social Work. So this, just a note, this is why you have to register for each session individually through GoToWebinar, even though you're registered for the whole conference in sum. So I just want to do a few thanks. I want some shout outs here. So I want to give a huge shout out to all of our 15 conference sponsors, and you can read all about them on our conference sponsor page. But I want to give some special thanks to our champion sponsors: Associated Clinics of Psychology, Creative Caponia, Ham Memorial Psychiatric Clinic, Minnesota Care Partner, North Star Problem Gambling Alliance, Partners in Community Supports, Rogers Behavioral Health, St. Catherine University, University of Minnesota Twin Cities, and the University of St. Thomas School of Social Work. Now, we'll be doing social media spotlights on all of these champion sponsors throughout the conference through October 15th. So I can thank them and you can thank them. And I urge you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and also on LinkedIn and YouTube. And just a note that we've started as a chapter posting all of our recordings from free forums and trainings that we hold. We've been posting those on our YouTube channel. So if you'd like to look for those, you can just Google YouTube and search for NASW-MN. Remember, all of those pre-recorded sessions count as independent study CEUs in this round of your licensure renewal. I also want to encourage you to check out our sponsor resource folder, where you'll find all sorts of information and resources from our sponsors, including things you can print, download, or watch. Now, we always have to give special thanks to all the people who do the work, right? So I want to give a special thanks to our committee and our interns from last year and this year, and they're all listed on the homepage of our program if you scroll down. And also to our presenters for their flexibility, for putting up with us as we continue to change things and sticking with us and adapting to this virtual world that we're in. And I want to give the biggest shout out possible to our chapter coordinator, Shireen Retta. She has literally worked tirelessly to make this thing happen. So thank you to Shireen. And if you email, call us, talk with her, please give her a big thanks as well. Now, if you need to get a hold of us during the conference, I want you to email us. You're going to email us at admin@naswmn.socialworkers.org. And this will be all over our conference program at the bottom of every page. So you can get a hold of us that way. We will do our best to respond quickly, but please give us 24 hours to get back to you. During the conference, as you can imagine, there's a lot going on and a lot to manage, and it's just Shireen and I managing all of the back end of this with the help of our conference volunteers and some of our board members. And thank you to all of those additional folks who are giving a hand throughout the conference as well. So just a couple of final thoughts from me. 2 things. One is, after each session, folks, everything you watch, each session individually, I urge you to jot some notes about what you'll take away from this. This little process helps our brains actually get something to stick after we sit through all sorts of hours of session after session. You can imagine that our brains just get really full and overwhelmed with content. And I'd like you to leave with something from each of those. So jot yourself some just quick notes. What is it that was useful in that session? What will I take back to my practice? Now, the second is whether you attend a session live or you watch a recording, please go back to the program and click the Evaluate This Session button. So under each session, there's the button that you will complete in order to register for the session, and then one that says Evaluate This Session. These evaluations are helpful for presenters as they continue to strengthen their practice, so we share the content back with them, and also for us in our future planning. We take these very seriously in deciding what presenters and topics to invite back later in the year. So thanks again, in closing, for joining us for the 30th Annual Conference of NASW Minnesota. I'm thrilled to be a social worker and on this road with each of you as we honor yesterday and build tomorrow with intention, unity, and resolve. Take care, folks.